Are we ready to talk about Rory's trip to Goodwood and what else?
The hill climb.
Yeah, I was thinking we can do. I mean, I don't have a ton to say about Watkins Glen this year, but we could talk about that too. And then
I was at Goodwood Revival as a representative of Alloy, the website. I think we talked about it maybe the first episode.
It was, yeah.
Of Tired, yeah.
Yeah.
It was you two talking about Watkins Glen and Goodwood.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I haven't looked at what the date was, but we're. I mean, I guess this we could consider this the 1 year anniversary episode.
Aw, that's so cool.
Tired, right?
Look at us go.
But yeah, it was great. It was super rainy, which was fun. The first day I had this idea about I was gonna do like a 50s kind of greaser guy thing, like just t-shirt, jeans, and a gas station attendant type coat.
Yeah,
which I did.
Do you have the jeans? But you need like a very particular type of jean for that. You know, it's got to be like super stiff, like raw, but like even like whatever it is, fucking unsanforized or whatever, where, and then like, and not washed yet, and then you have to cuff them like really awkward,
high,
like really
yeah,
high cuffs, right?
I did the best I could with what I had, and I think the look overall was convincing. I rolled up a pack of Lucky Strikes in my sleeve, etc. But it just wasn't enough. So the second day I relented and just put a jacket on and did the tie thing the normal way.
Yeah.
But it was great. I like Goodwood. I will say
Did you have like a good like kind of vintage like waxed jacket?
Yeah, I have like a Carhartt. Yeah. And then I wore the second day I somehow got a Banana Republic or somebody had like a very traditional trench coat that was obviously immediately went on clearance because no one's buying trench coats. So I've been sitting in my closet for years because I don't wear suits anymore. But I got to wear that in the rain, which was like
perfect,
pretty good. It was like one of the few people there who had like appropriate rain gear too. I will say since Lynn Woodward, another journalist, outed me and told my story to all the other journalists there, I can tell everybody on the podcast that twice on separate hotels and separate Goodwood experiences, I have locked myself out of my hotel room in the middle of the night.
Who among us?
Because they give you these huge rooms with like multiple doorways in them. And so
Is this at the crazy ass fucking hotel?
This time it was. The time
Raffles
before that was
or whatever?
Yeah, the time before that was like at this insane country estate hotel.
Tell our audience about Raffles.
Please.
Well, so I'll tell you in a second, but the first time this happened, I walked out of the hotel room to go to the bathroom and was not appropriately attired, I will say that, to be outside of my room.
Uh-huh.
And went to hit the light switch and then realized that there was no light switch on the wall. And I was like, I'm not in my room. And looked around and I was in the hallway. And then...
The thing is, it's fucking English hotels, man.
Oh, yeah. I probably was not the only guy in this situation. But so I'm standing outside and I'm like, fuck, like I'm gonna have to go down to the desk. And I was like, can I pull a curtain off the wall to like attire myself to get
Are you
downstairs?
just like wearing like boxers and nothing else?
I wouldn't say I was wearing boxers. But anyway, so I'm standing there and I'm like
Tidy whities.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, I was,
a bikini, a banana hammock.
It's like, let me get some clothes on. Anyway, so I was like, fuck, I'm going downstairs. I'm going to have to find some way to cover up.
Oh no.
And it's not a big enough hotel where there's necessarily even going to be somebody downstairs. So, so anyway, I just randomly was like, checked the door again just to make sure like I couldn't force it, and it was open. The door the entire time I'd been there was broken and it didn't lock.
Thank God. Well, small favors.
So this time I was at Raffles, which is in the old War Office. It is a it's an incredible, insane hotel. So the old War Office is, the headquarters of the British military during World War II, which was purchased and turned into a hotel at billions of dollars of expense a few years ago by Raffles, which is like a global ultra luxury hotel. So an idea of like the Raffles situation here is like they have this building, which is obviously like historical significance, so they can't just fucking tear it all up and do whatever they want with it. They got to kind of like be very sensitive to like how the property is maintained. I think they signed a 200-year lease with the British government. They didn't actually even own the property.
Wow.
That's optimistic. I put
True.
That's kind of like the forever stamp, thing.
So because they couldn't fuck with the building, they needed a spa and gym and like a pool and stuff. This is like a hotel. You can go into Winston Churchill's office. You can go, like, we went into his like observation tower that he like personally occupied. They go up there and smoke cigarettes and get drunk or whatever.
Insane.
So they couldn't fuck with the building. So they dug underneath it, like 5 stories underneath this massive building. They hollowed it all out to create like the spa and gym area, which is like, just think of it like what that must have cost, like without disturbing the existing structure, to get down like several floors underneath to build this like gym spa area. Insane hotel. But one with a lot of doorways in the room, and I this time stepped out into the hallway in my boxer shorts, thankfully. Realized again, same situation, went for the light switch and was like, no light switch. And I looked up again. I'm in the hallway. This door does lock. The Raffles door is a modern, brand new door, locked up. And so I'm like, shit, I got to go down to, and this is like a big lobby, a big hotel. There's going to be a bunch of people down there.
That's where I just go to Winston Churchill's observation thing and just curl up in the corner. And
there's not really a good way to get up there without without walking past a bunch of people. So
is this the middle of the night? What are we talking here?
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3 in the morning.
Nice.
And I was like, I found a couch in the hallway, and I was like, maybe I'll just sleep on the couch. And I was like, no, you don't want to be discovered sleeping on the couch. So I ventured into the hallway and found a door that was marked private, which I, of course, opened and walked inside. And luckily, it was a linen closet. So I grabbed a beautiful robe and a pair of slippers. And I went down to the front desk and said, hey, I think I locked myself out of my room. And they're like, let's get another key. And I was like, very good. And it was totally cool. Like, not totally cool, but it was way cooler than the first time. But it's happened to me twice in a row. And it only happens there. Although I will say, I mentioned it when I got home, and I have been doing a bit of sleepwalking more recently. There's a pretty good chance I was sleepwalking last night because I woke up at 3 a.m. and could not find my water bottle that I usually have on my, and it is not anywhere in the house. And so it has left the house somehow.
Interesting.
You're sleepwalking outside? Are you going out to the garage?
I don't know. I'm going to look in the shop this afternoon. It could be in the shop. But so anyway, survived that
It'd be great
ordeal.
if you just like woke up and are like wrenching on the Porsche.
Yeah, it's like done. It's like a
So the 9/11 finally gets done.
after the second time doing this, I took to placing a trash can or a chair in front of the door.
There you go.
Because I can't be escaping my confines like that. Can't be doing that. So embarrassing. But super nice hotel, Raffles. Very funny name, I have to say.
Just one of those English things, It's like the fucking like Checkers or whatever,
Yeah.
The where the prime minister goes to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have a funny name, a cute name for like a very serious thing, luxury thing.
Well, they give houses names,
Yeah, right.
Like I remember meeting a girl like in college, English girl, and like we exchanged address, just like, oh, I'll write to you, whatever, and her house had a name, and I was like,
I think all of them do.
Okay.
No, a lot of
my
them.
house just has a number and a street. I don't know.
I think the fancier type of houses.
Yeah. No, exactly. The
But-
estate.
Yeah. Goodwood, though, I will say, like, that was the most it's ever rained when I've been there, and it was awesome. Like the cars, everybody still ran. The Formula open wheel cars still ran. All the Shelby stuff, like all the big bore cars, like everybody still had to go. And that it was like I got drenched. Like I stood out in the rain at the exit of that chicane onto the front straight there, where I shot like some videos of cars kind of drifting onto the front straight, and I shot probably 100 of those videos, and they're all crazy. I mean, they're all like, every one of them is like, oh, is he gonna slide off into the grass and like ruin his several $1 million car? Was he gonna pop up into the stands with his car? Like it was wild. Like I said, the dress up aspect of it is not my favorite part, but I guess I'm just too like cynical to like that part of it. But I think it is fun for a lot of the people who are there. And I will say, like, there is something on like a community level that's interesting about everyone kind of doing something together, where it's like there's like I may not necessarily want to be dressed this way, but I'm going to do it so it doesn't ruin the time of the people who do like the. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah,
like,
no, totally. I mean, it's a costume party, you know.
Yeah,
it's LARPing, and the kind of the epiphany that I had watching it this year, because I will dip in and out of just the live feed just to watch it, and yeah, I mean, like you're saying, like the racing stuff that I was seeing was just
it's unreal.
It's like bananas, man. So freaking crazy. And just like, I mean, there were some really just tremendous, like just incredible slow-mo shots of like, you know, a cobra just completely sideways through a corner, just like, you know, rooster tail, and just and I mean, it was funny, like listening to Jimmy Johnson, who I think we talked about last year, but he was talking about, he was driving one of those Cobras and was just saying like how much of a fucking handful those things are in the rain, and he seemed like genuinely intimidated by it.
Yeah, you can see him like coming off that chicane, like the amount of steering that they're doing.
Oh my
it's
God.
Like, it is like, you know, the steering wheels are 15 inches across, and they're like muscling those cars to stay on the track, and to get them to turn.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, sideways through the corners, obviously, you know, full four-wheel drifts through the corners, but I mean, they were having a fucking hard time keeping the cars going straight because the puddles were so deep and so dramatic, and so I mean, you would watch the cars like you know, under power or braking or whatever. I mean, they're totally twitching side to side. I mean, they are not planted at all. I mean, it was really, really something to watch. But
wow,
yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out if I would know Jimmy Johnson if I saw him, and I would now.
He's quite handsome.
Holy Christ alive! Oh boy, that's. I'll be here. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Sideways.
There's a contingency of like extremely handsome men who hang out together at this thing, like Jimmy Johnson and the Frankies, and like all these like pro drivers who are Tom
Jensen.
Christensen.
Yeah,
and
you
run. You'll like run into them in the suite, and you're like, oh, hey guys, like,
yes, exactly.
How's it going? Pretty good. Seems to be going quite well for you. Good.
It's funny. I met his wife, Jimmy Johnson's wife, when we lived in Charlotte, and I had a friend there who had a record store, and the building that his little, you know, kind of, you know, indie record store was in, it was kind of like this shared boutique-y kind of space, and next door was like some kind of boutique gallery that was owned and run by Jimmy Johnson's wife. So he's
kind of cool
with her, and just weird.
The Tom Christensen in the St. Mary's Trophy. Did you see that? It was him and Steve Soper, who is like Soper. I think was in a Fairlane, and Christensen was in a Thunderbird.
Yes.
And it
was
was
like
like
crazy that Thunderbird Roadster, like the Thunderbolt or whatever it's called.
It's a Thunderbird Well, it's got the top.
The white
they're
one
all-
with the cool,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the fairing behind the driver. Yeah.
No, it's a. I mean, it's got the hard top on it.
Okay.
Or at least it did for the
Not
race.
the car I'm thinking of.
Like you could see him, Christensen, in the Thunderbird, tracking down Soper, who he got within 2 cars of him, and it was like, oh, he's gonna pass him. Like, there's no way he's getting out of this without winning this race. And it was like those guys were flying at the front of the pack, and like the confidence that Christensen had is what's crazy about all these cars too. I think we talked about this the last time we talked about this, but it's like there are fundamentally old cars, but they have modern tires and like modernized braking stuff. A lot of them, like they're kind of like improved within kind of the spirit of the event or whatever. But like never in history has a Thunderbird inspired that kind of braking. It was like, it's so crazy to see. And it's like, the little Austin A40s are out there. And
I was
it's
gonna
like,
say, I mean, the thing is, like those 2 cars. I mean, you can picture like an early '60s Ford Fairlane. I mean, just big fucking gigantic ass thing, and a T-Bird, which is, I mean, not quite as big, but still a big American car. And the cars that they're out on the track with are like Austins, like they're little, like tiny. Like basically like
little
minis,
British cars.
Yeah, from that era, it's so funny to see them all, and they're all kind of, despite their obvious kind of visual dissimilarities, like they're all pretty close on pace.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so much fun. It's always so good. It's again the racing, the level of competition and the intensity of, like, there's nowhere on the planet that I know of outside of Goodwood to see these types of cars operated in this way.
Right.
I did this year. I did the Monterey Historics and Goodwood again together, and it is night and day, the level of like going for it happening.
I was just that's the exact phrase that I was going to use.
Just like, what on earth are you doing within this car?
Dude, Christensen with the door open. I cut towards the end of it. Holy shit.
It is bonkers, and it's so fun. I think I got around a little bit more this year than I have in previous years, and saw some. Went to the parking lot and saw some other stuff, and man, it's just, what an environment, and like what a cool. It's so weird. I was thinking about. I wrote it in the on the Alloy Instagram page. We did like a little report or whatever, and it was like, there's nothing that I can think of that is like this. Like maybe like theoretically it would be like Burning Man or something, where it's like everyone is kind of like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I was initially okay, maybe Star Wars Disney World or whatever, like they have the Disney thing. Yeah. But I was like, not everybody at that thing is participating. You know what I mean? Like people, like most of the people are just there in a t-shirt and jeans or whatever, or shorts.
Furry convention?
Furry convention, but like I think even a furry convention, like you're in just a normal hotel in most cases.
That's
at least
true.
the ones that I've seen. So I think it's just a singular. I like I said, I don't have really anything to compare it to, and I don't have anything to really point to that's like an analog that people would kind of understand, except Goodwood. It's just like it's its own very silly thing, but it's really really cool.
Yeah, the thing that I was going to say before is my epiphany watching it, and as far as the non-automotive aspects of it, what's striking to me is because what's the slogan that they use? It's like revive and re something. It's kind of like
revive and thrive.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, revive and thrive, right? And what is being revived here? I mean, what it clearly is this kind of like a reclamation of, if not peak of the British Empire, but like this moment where, you know, of like kind of immediate post-war Great Britain, right, where they had kind of taken it on the chin, um, uh, but there was this you know, this still this kind of this spirit of you know, the British Empire, you know, we're still standing, and
Still an empire.
right, and so it's I mean, the whole event is just kind of suffused with this nostalgia for this kind of this lost era, right, and this is what's being kind of celebrated and revived, essentially. And I was trying to think of like, what would be the American equivalent of that, right? Like what would be, if you were going to do kind of peak American empire, like what would that be? And and that's what I realized is like, oh, it would because it's the moment. And actually, like, to be perfectly analogous about it, it's the moment where you're past actually peak empire, but you still think that you're in it, because that's what the 50s is for the British, right? And the 80s and 90s is exactly that for the US. And it's like, and I mean, and it's a joke, right? And I mean, the event was even kind of like conceived as kind of a piss take, right? Because it's Radwood, right? It's like it borrowed the name from Goodwood, but it's like, we're gonna do like a rad version of it. But I actually think, in a very real sense,
yeah, you're right.
That's why Radwood, I think, kind of took hold in the way that it did, beyond just being like a fun car show, because people, I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, I haven't been to one. I don't think it's quite the same degree of kind of everybody there is dressing up, but it's obviously like, it's a big part of it, right? That, I mean, a lot of people do. And, you know, you know, I mean, as somebody who was there during the 80s, I question a lot of the
nostalgia.
Well, just not even the nostalgia, but just the accuracy of the fashion choices. I think a lot of that shit has been retconned, and like what we now associate with the 80s is a kind of a bastardized and not even exaggerated, but just kind of off version of what the real thing actually was.
Yeah, the palette was a lot more yellow and brown, and like what you would think of more as 70s than it was like the super neon 90s stuff.
Well, I mean,
right?
there was neon stuff too. I mean, the 80s for me kind of started with what we now think of as the 80s, and I kind of thought this at the time, was that kind of all started with the 84 Olympics in Los Angeles, and the kind of visual kind of motifs that they put together for that, like, kind of crystallized that kind of pastels, and, you know, just that palette of just, the kind of neon-y stuff, and the kind of geometric shapes and whatever. Anyway, we're getting off track, but it was just a funny kind of thing to realize that, like, oh, we do have this. It's Radwood, and it's celebrating exactly
the same vibe,
the same thing. It's like it's the time that it's like, it's exactly why we are nostalgic, and for that, you know, whether you live through it or not, why young people, like, we're all kind of stuck on the 80s and 90s, even as the nostalgia cycle, like, we're now into, you know, we're now like a couple of cycles past 80s nostalgia, but it's like that era has stuck. And
you know what's funny about the Radwood thing too is, like, because it's American, it like immediately got co-opted by an insurance company, and the joke and the spirit of it is completely dead, and it's now just like a kind of shadow of itself.
Is that right? I mean, I knew that like Brad and who it was like Bradley and somebody else who kind of started it, and they kind of sold it off like after like a few years, right? But I didn't know who was running it these days.
Haggerty,
I mean, it seems like
Haggerty owns it.
Oh, Haggerty does. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, it seems like it's still healthy, right? I mean, they still do them.
Yeah, they still do them. It's weird. I guess like the vibe has changed quite a bit, and obviously like I think the tongue-in-cheek part of it has kind of like is not. I don't think they get it necessarily. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
okay.
So it's not really kind of the same event that it was, and like it's like necessarily going to be like a little bit less edgy and like a little bit less kind of cool and immediate, just because it's like it's not a grassroots thing anymore. It's a big thing. I don't know if it makes money or whatever, but it seems like it's still there.
Well, it's a fun car thing. I mean, and that's it has the kind of double appeal of being like a fun thing where people can dress up, and also those cars are that's
cool.
What people are into now, and
yeah.
Not without reason.
Yeah. But yeah, the Goodwood thing, man, it's hard to say like I recommend doing it, because it's like the way that we do it is so insane. Like we helicopter in every day.
I recommend doing it in exactly the way that you do it, which is getting invited on a press trip with a major manufacturer, with somebody who's really good at throwing a great party, and will put you up at the most fucking insane hotel in Great Britain.
Yeah. I will say though, I do think it's fun to do on a normal. I will say too, it's like very easy to get a press credential there. I know, like I found out, it's like you can really just apply with anything.
Tired media.
Alloy, tired media, whatever you want to do, and you will get a credential. But there are tons of people there camping, having a good time.
I was going to say, is there camping there? People
Oh
camp?
yeah. I mean, it's it's a really like, as crazy as it is the way that we do it, like it is very accessible. I don't even think it's very expensive to buy tickets. I think it's like under $200 to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So it is something you could conceivably do. And I think like if you wanted to drive in and park there every day, like you can. You're going to wait in traffic a bunch, but like that's not that big of a deal. I've waited in traffic for dumber shit. So it's good. It's a very, very fun event. I will say,
I didn't realize you guys fucking helicopter in every day.
Yeah. The helicopter in every morning, and helicopter. So the helicopter lands
From
on
London?
No, it lands in the lawn of the hotel where we stay. So the hotel is like this country estate called South Lodge.
Hotel outside of, okay, gotcha. So the helicopter is really just kind of convenience to get you around traffic.
That's exactly. And it's like South Lodge is the other thing too, like the helicopter thing. This is going to sound crazy, but like the
you can't go back. You can't. I mean, once you've done helicopter.
Yeah. No, like, that what I'm going to say is
you can't go back to driving. You can't go back to just fucking.
The cost of staying in a hotel that's like close to Goodwood is super high.
Oh.
But like the further you get away, the
Right.
cheaper it gets. So like the helicopter thing allows you to pay less for the hotel, is the way that it was explained to me by the PR people. So they're really saving money by chartering 8 helicopters and flying all of us in.
If that's true, that's fucking
there's no
insane.
way. There's no way they're saving money doing that. But it's just not as crazy, I think. But it's
hilarious.
I mean, it's a flight.
Incredible.
It's probably a 30-minute flight in and out every day. But so you wake up in the morning, they have like a breakfast spread out, eat your breakfast, and then like they take you in golf carts to the helicopters, and you board a helicopter, which like I got to fly in an old Bell 505, like an old one, like a Bell 505-3, which I don't know what year that would be. And that the pilot of the helicopter was really into joking about how dangerous helicopters were, and it was
That's so funny. That's awesome.
and how easy they were to fly. But he's like he was like a younger guy and was like he was having a really good, like I was giving him a hard time about it, and he was really 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 good sport about it.
Wonderful.
And then he's like, the cool thing about a helicopter versus a plane, and he was like talking all kinds of shit about fixed wing aircraft and like how it doesn't take any skill to fly them. It's like, a plane wants to fly naturally. If you put air over a wing, it wants to take off. And like, he's like, this thing does not want to fucking fly. He's like, I'm fighting it nonstop. But he's like, the cool thing is if I see a pub I like, I can land and go walk into it. And he's like, and then like several minutes later, and he's like, but I wouldn't drink if I went to the pub. I was like, no, I got you, buddy.
This guy rocks.
Just fish and chips. They do have NA, yeah.
Dudes rock.
That's very funny.
So you take the helicopter in, you land on the airfield at Goodwood, because it was an old World War II airfield. And then you get picked up in vintage Land Rovers and Jeeps that drive you up to like a tent, like an FBO. And then someone hands you a glass of champagne or a cup of coffee, or both. And then you're on campus at Goodwood, and you can walk up to your hospitality or whatever. And then at the end of the day, after the last race, you walk back to the airfield. They do the same thing in reverse, and you go home and do it again the next day. Yeah, it's wild. It's a very, very crazy thing to be able to do for free. And then but yeah, the whole time this year I was like trying to get updates from Jimmy, because he was driving the Lada in the hill climb. Which the car ran flawlessly, full power the whole time. Jimmy thinks it's not making as much power as it could be making. He doesn't think it's all the way to 200, which is believable. It could be underpowered, but which would be great news, because he ran a 22.2, which was very fast. I think.
You said second in class?
No, so he actually didn't end up at the end of the day second in class at the time he was, but I think like the second fastest car in the event is in their class. It's like a total resto mod second gen Camaro that was just a machine that did like 19 seconds. And then there were a bunch of cars like in the low 20s. I think there were a bunch of them in the 21 range, and I think his best was 20. 0.2 something, but I did or 22.2. I don't know how I did this, but at some point I took one of the rear wheels off the car and then like finger tightened it, and then that's how Jimmy drove it up the hill. And Ryan, the tech guy, noticed it before he ran, thankfully, and sent him back in. So he did miss one run, but yeah, super successful. He said the car was awesome to drive.
He noticed that the wheel lugs are just kind of jiggling as they go around.
And I mean, I've driven it a bunch. I've driven it on the street and like gotten around in it a little bit. So I must have kind of loosened them over time. Luckily, I ordered the wrong studs when I put it on, and so like the wheel studs are like 3 inches long. So it's like plenty of room before those things eventually spin their ways off.
Rory 2-week pit crew suspension for the next 2 races.
Yeah.
Put Dale Jr. in there instead.
Yeah, super successful. And I think like Jimmy gave me a bunch of stuff to improve. I think like we're now at a point where like I can send away data from the motor to get it actually tuned, like to get a tune for the build, which I think that's huge. I think last year it was like, we didn't know how much power we were making. We didn't, we couldn't get it to make power consistently. And now it's like, it's going to be, it'll be a totally different machine when we run it again next year.
With the aero package and...
I mean, we can start to dick with some of that stuff. He wants brakes and some more power. And then there's a couple other like suspension-y things that we can kind of tweak on it, but like we're now at the point where we can like improve the car, and we're improving from like the point where it's currently a 22-second car.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which like
a lot of headroom.
A lot of headroom.
And I would say, sorry, Matty, that one's been done. The cool thing about it too is he is like faster in the Lada Then when we ran the Spec Miatas in 2019, when we got
Whoa.
the real Spec Miata, like the
Wow.
real Mazda race car,
Yeah.
the Lada was faster up the hill. So
Shit.
Let's go.
yeah, it's like faster than some people who actually know how to build a race car.
Exciting.
Hell yeah.
Exciting
Yeah,
times.
it's pretty good. So
Nice.
huge success from Goodwood and from the Empire Hill Climb.
Wonderful.
I was bummed I couldn't be there, but
Yeah,
next year we'll all be there.
Yeah.
that's true.
Can we talk just briefly about the message that you sent to me and Matty from Goodwood on, I think it would have been like Saturday. I think it was Saturday evening as I was making dinner. the can you guys be in Spain
Oh fuck yes.
on Monday?
Yeah, damn. That was such
Brother, if I had any money at all,
I want listeners to just have an idea of what it's like being friends with Rory, because I mean it's been a while since I've gotten one of these texts where
I
mean,
have
this-
never to this point also
yeah,
gotten one of
well
these
now
texts.
now you know.
you're one of several people who got a text. Like once you guys were out, I was like immediately trying to figure out some other folks. But yeah.
Listen,
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I wasn't out. I was in all the way.
Peter was
yeah.
in.
Yeah, basically. I mean, how did it happen, Rory? You just you.
Ian Dobson, who he runs this company called Automotive Events, and when we went to Patagonia a few years ago, Ian was the guy who put it together.
Another Subaru trip.
Yep, he puts the Goodwood thing together. Like the person behind how everything operates is Ian. Brilliant guy, super cool, a lot of rally experience, and just a great dude. But he walked up to me, he and Aaron Cole, who's like the Subaru PR guy, and he was like, "What are you doing Monday?" And I was like, "Well, I'm supposed to be flying back to Michigan, but what do you got?" And he's like, I think that one of his colleagues, and I'm going to flub some of the details here, but one of his colleagues wanted to do this expedition. So it's a Sahara Desert expedition.
I mean, it's basically 2 weeks driving around Morocco in
Yep.
Ford Focuses, lifted Ford Focuses.
So you have if you have to use a Ford Focus.
That you supply yourself. You buy
buy your own.
like a $500 Ford Focus, put
Yep.
a lift kit on it, and like a few other things.
But it's supposed to be like a super cheap. Man, I'm looking at this now. I'm so fucking mad. I'm not on this, but a super cheap way to do like a really crazy adventure, and you sleep outside 2 of the nights, and you're really kind of on your own as far as like getting through the route and surviving this thing, which is like, man, like.
In some way, but I mean, the reason that they use all the same cars is because they have support vehicles, they've got spares, they've got crew. So I mean, it's
Yeah. You're not on your own, but you're
right. If you run into trouble,
they can get you out.
right? They can get you going again.
So it's this. You show up in Malaga in Spain, and then you go across the Straits of Gibraltar, and then you make a huge loop around Morocco, and come back up across the Straits to finish. But man, it incredible experience, and it was like the appeal of it for me too was like the car had been prepped. So Ian and he had prepped the car, so it was going to be super tight and like it was going to run great and like be really, really effective as a car for the situation. But the cool thing about it was I didn't have anything on me, so it was like I had, I think, a Leatherman and like my Goodwood clothes. But like my initial thought was like, I'm just going to go do this. Like I will go get in the car and do this trip. And then I realized I have a wedding and I couldn't do it. But it was like, it was the idea of doing it in my Goodwood clothes with like the stuff that I brought for Goodwood was so funny and appealing to me. It was like, oh man, like this is gonna be such a mess.
Just driving around Morocco like in your 1950 British costume.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, pretty kind of perfect.
Yeah, totally perfect.
More appropriate today, yeah.
In my
fucking Lawrence of Arabia shit.
yeah, and my Bass loafers
Yeah.
would have been so fucking cool. But man, this is the kind of stuff too that it's just like I don't make a habit of saying no. And it was like this wedding is super important, and I already like am on the hook to pay for an Airbnb with my friend John. So, and I'm his ride out there. It would have been very shitty for me to leave, but man, it like so appealing.
See, I just figured you just had like too much stuff going on with Ellie ramping up and
I mean that's
just
definitely
like
true
the
too.
next 2 weeks, just kind of like
It would not have been responsible even remotely
Right.
to do it. But like I was talking to Fernando about it, and I was like, it would have been a mess to do, but it's also like it is never a good time to have this stuff happen. Like it is never a good time.
It's never the right time. It's like
Yeah.
it's like having a baby, It's like it's never
You just
the right
gotta
time.
fucking fucking do it. Yeah. And it's like you can't, in my opinion, you cannot go through your life saying no to stuff like here's a free car, go drive around Morocco for 10 days.
Yep.
Like it wasn't going to cost anything. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah. So the story was that basically there was an entrant who had their car down there. They had to back out at the last minute. So the car is just down there, fully equipped, fully
Ready to
geared
go.
up and ready to go with no crew. And
Yeah.
you need at least 2 people to run this because of the amount of driving that it is.
yeah.
And Peter could be in Morocco right now, but I could not afford a plane ticket to be
So
his buddy.
Matty and I get this text and with a link to this thing and I just kind of jokingly reply, it's like, oh, you got a Ford Focus for us, and Rory comes back, it's like, yeah, no, there's one there, it's ready to go, and that's when I realized, it's like, oh, he's serious.
Yeah.
And it's like the number of emails or of text messages I've gotten from Rory over the years where it's like, can you be in place X, in 48 hours?
Yeah. Listen, next time.
Yeah.
And I mean, with this, it was kind of like, I mean, it was when I realized that you were serious, Rory, it was great for me because just what it did, because I've been out of that kind of that mode and that mindset for a while now, basically for a year, and the way that when I realized that you were serious, that the kind of almost just like mental muscle memory kicked in of just like, oh, okay, I'm fucking on the computer. I'm looking at logistics. I'm just like looking at flights. I'm like, how can I fucking get there? What it'll take, and who else can we get to go? And Matt, when you said you couldn't do it, and then I was just like, I'm texting people, and it's just like, fuck, and like really thinking it. And the thing is, I mean, this is like, I mean, it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night here, and this means like getting on a plane like the next morning, basically like at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I think there were some early afternoon flights that could have gotten me there. So it's like less than 24 hours to turn it around and get it together. And I was just like, I was so fucking ready to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Man.
thinking like, God, I mean, yeah, like I said, like I don't know that I would have come back.
Yeah. To me, it's like, this is the best thing that can happen in your life, is like something just falling in your lap where you're like, with no thought, no preparation, no like, no premeditation. It's like, yes, I'm going to figure out how to go do this. And then you do it and you're there and the thing is happening. And it's like, you're not dreading it. You're not preparing or thinking. It's just like, okay, now this is going on. It's like, this is
and also like the thing that keeps you from like planning to do this kind of stuff is just the kind of like the decision paralysis that sets in, where it's just like, oh fuck, man, well, if I were going to do that, I would have to do this, I would have to figure out this, I would have to get this lined up, I would have to, and it's, and like the totality of that is so overwhelming that you just say, "Ah, I just can't do it." But when it's just like, it's so last minute and you just kind of go like, okay, yeah, I'm going to fucking do this. And you pick like, you do the immediate shit that you have to do, just the minimum. And then the rest of it, you figure out as you know, you deal with each. And I mean, and it's a great life lesson, because it's like, if you're going to do anything in fucking life, this is how you do it. You cannot be daunted by looking at the whole picture all at once. You have to just fucking like commit and then figure it out as you go, and just do like the small discrete tasks that will make the thing possible, and that is required to do it as they come. But it was just so, yeah, long story short, none of us could do it, as it turned out. And
Peter could have done it, but
theoretically we couldn't find another person who was free and available to fuck off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think the phrase that I was just like, surely we know like some more shiftless layabouts. Right? I mean, that's like our entire...
I mean, it feels like there are other times in my life where I did know more people like that, but
everybody's just grinding. But the thing that it did inspire me, like, I just realized, like, yeah, man, I need to get the fuck out of town. And there's race at Indy, IMSA race at Indy this weekend, and I was just like, yeah, I think we're gonna hit up our IMSA dude and see about getting a credential, and I did.
Nice.
So I'm going to that, leaving tomorrow, and I will be camping. I did look. I was curious. I looked a while back, just because, you know, it was on my radar, and I was like, well, I wonder what it costs to camp at Indy. And there's 2 tiers of infield camping. One, I think, is like the kind of deluxe, you know, like if you bring your fucking motorhome or whatever, and that's like, I think it's like $1,200. It's something fucking ridiculous. And then the kind of like lower infield camping, it's still like, it's like $600 or $700. And I was just like,
shit.
Okay, well, that's like, yeah, no fucking way. There's also across the street outside parking, like lot 2 or whatever. And they say, and on the site, it has like, you know, in when it is describing, you know, it's got the specs of like how big the spaces are or whatever. It's got one of the criteria thing is you know, like mood or ambiance or whatever. And it's like, you know, quiet, family friendly, whatever. The one for the lot across the street is something like festive. And well, to camp across the street, $70.
Nice.
Now we're talking.
That's the way.
For all 4 days.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
And I'm like, well, I could do that.
That's fine.
I could swing that. So
odds of you getting stabbed or having your tent stolen or something like that, I mean, slightly higher, but it's a big swing price wise.
We'll see. I'm curious to see what the just how festive or whatever. I don't remember what the exact. I'll have to look up what the exact terminology they used for how much of a shit show it's going to be. But I don't know, man. I can't. You know, it's like people have fun at Watkins Glen. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, you can.
Crazy.
It'll be great. It's good. I mean, it's fucking old people. You're going to a race. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be grown ups.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
We'll see.
Get the full report on the next step.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, or you got to go, Rory?
Yeah, I gotta hop off.
Okay. I have one piece of news. Wait, someone else has to type in the chat because I don't have the chat.
Oh.
I don't have chat.
I think I already did.
I'm being silenced again. My toggle is off. Yeah. I have excellent news to make up for the fact that my beautiful man was knocked out at Bristol and is no longer in playoffs, which is that they are putting him in the special car this weekend to make up for my pain and suffering.
What's the special car?
The special car is the jockey promo car on which, so we'll see what they do with the racing suit,
Oh,
and that'll
that's
make
very
up
funny.
for all of my struggling and pain and having to see my beautiful, sweet New Zealander Shane Van Gisbergen knocked out of NASCAR playoffs. We knew he would be, but I love him.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going good. So that's great news for me. Special just for me. Special.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wonderful.
Something to look forward to.
That's my weekend plans. Besides my usual schemes, plots, and more schemes.
But of course. All right. Should we hit him with the stay tired?
Yes.
Stay tired.
Stay tired, everybody.
Stay
Thank you
tired.
for listening to the pod. Thank you for hanging out with us for 1 year of Tired, the car podcast for people who understand that cars are bad. That's exciting.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for doing
the
thanks
outro.
for doing the ID.